Okay, broadcast is live. Let me share this thing. Anybody that's watching right now, this is our funny little.
This is
I
the
guess
behind the scenes.
it's not pre-production because it's currently happening.
This is the BTS. This goes on the DVD right here.
Just a little hustle of.
Yeah,
Well,
this
here
is
we are.
on the DVD. This is edited into a nice sizzle reel. All of our pre stuff.
I guess so. It's kind of funny. Kevin Smith's daughter has like a vegan podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and they have this kind of funny thing where they ramble beforehand, and it's some of the best parts of the podcast. It's freaking hilarious because it's just
That
him ripping on his little girl and her calling him a boomer, and it's kind of funny.
that's the best. That's the best part of anything he does is when he just gets rambly and you just get him going. He's been reading his text at his daughter since like for a while, like at his shows and stuff. I went and saw him when he was up here at the Neptune,
Oh, nice.
and part of the whole shtick was like,
I gotta open us up on Twitch. I'm so excited. It's our first
Nice.
Twitch stream.
nice. Oh yeah,
Ooh.
I gotta share that. I got so many tabs open, it's stupid. I got 32 gigs of RAM, and I'm just like all the Chrome tabs. Close nothing.
Okay, keep this up. Mute the page so then we still get a view.
Almost ready.
Why that? I'm not even in the right browser.
I am nowhere near ready.
This is the right browser.
Nice.
Oh my god. Okay. Let's go to Twitter.
At Voodoo Ranger. Salt tier. Obviously salt tier. And Drizzly. Why not?
Fair.
All
Tweet.
right.
Okay, I am ready.
I am stuck right now. Hang on. I've been relaxing, you know what I'm saying? Relaxing. I've been sipping a little bit of this, so hang on. I'm a little tardy. But go on ahead. I will get caught up.
I will do my slate because it matters so much.
Yeah, out of tradition. It's like Michael Jordan with the chalk at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, but who's that?
Who's that?
Michael who?
Michael Jordan.
Is he like Michael Jackson?
NBA 2K. There.
No, he's like Michael Fox.
Michael Fox. Michael J. Fox.
No,
Maniacs, welcome to the last podcast. Wait, do we have one next?
There would
What's
be
the
one
date?
more.
Oh, we got one more.
One more.
Yeah.
Welcome to the penultimate Salt
Nice.
Tier podcast of 2020. This is episode 103. And this is still Soundcasting Network's very own podcast where your argument is
Potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
it is boiled
Snow.
potatoes. Woo!
Snow.
Your argument is snow. We are brought to you by Soundcasting Network, not coming to you from Studio 212, not coming to you from South Lake Union. Hashtag it's a ghost town. If you don't know about Seattle, at us. It's a very bizarre place to walk through. I biked through there on the way to Fremont a couple weeks ago, and it's super creepy. It's not like a cool ghost town where everything's all old and rustic, because everything's new. It's all plastic tech buildings, but nobody's there, and it's so creepy. It's like Gattaca.
Very fitting.
That said, if you're listening to us on Facebook, if you're listening to us on YouTube, we are on Twitch today. Finally, woo! And Sagebell, what's our Twitch? How do you add us on Twitch?
Saltier Podcast, all one word.
Saltier Podcast, all one word on Twitch. Finally, that's a long time coming, and our super producer and London with a Y have been working very hard to get that to happen. So thank you for all of your hard work there. And if you're not following us on those three, we still have episodes up on SoundCloud, Spotify, and iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. I kind of want to make a Christian Mingle account at this point, just because of how funny it is. How good would that be of us, like, welcome to Salt Tier Podcast. Suitable for kids? Absolutely not. We drink and swear.
Mm-hmm.
Maniacs, and of course, this would not be the current version of Salt Tier Podcast without Voodoo Ranger IPA. Goodness gracious. And look at this. I got my shipment in. It's been a minute. I am currently on the Juicy Haze IPA. Slancha.
We definitely got the sweet care package drop there.
That was awesome. Big thanks to Lauren for always keeping us moist. That's the way we like to be. It's also going to keep us warm. It is snowing here in Seattle, Washington. Goodness gracious. And more so up north, am I right?
Yeah, the snow bunny over here has at least 2 inches, but I think it
Snow
stopped.
bunny. Oh my god. And heads up for anybody that does need last minute shopping ideas. If you feel like delivering some New Belgium or Voodoo Ranger, same company, but I'll talk more about that in a second, and send it to your loved ones or for yourself. There's no place like home for the holidays, especially when the beer comes to you. Get $5 off your first Drizzly order with the code New Belgium. Woo! And just a heads up, if you're curious about why we like Voodoo Ranger so much, not only are they fantastic for gamers, but they're also B Corp certified and employee owned. Two things that a lot of beer companies do not do because they don't have to. But here in the Pacific Northwest, Portland and Seattle, likewise, we got a lot of microbrews with small company ideas and blue collar, lift you up by the bootstraps kind of. I don't know how many other sayings can I say about how cool breweries are here in the Northwest. This isn't a Northwest company based out of Colorado, but their mindset is small, but their reach is wide. Once again, on Drizzly, which is how we get our drinks, code New Belgium for $5 off your first order. Thank you so much, Lauren. And this is I can't really drink beer that often because it makes me sick, so I'm gonna have like 1, maybe 2 today. This one is so great. It is so me. It's like a floral print, kind of Jimi Hendrix blazer on this beautiful Skullman person.
He's got
Look at that.
a nice ass blazer.
They are rocking it. Rocking hard.
tall
Oh, you're
polo.
into the tall boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the Imperial?
Yep, this is the Imperial IPA tall boy right
good
here.
night. That's gonna Savorings ... Can you tell us what your ABV is on that one?
That would be 9. Is it?
Should
Yeah.
be 9.
Yeah, it's 9%.
That'll knock you on your ass. That's gonna be great.
I'm countering it. I made like a little concoction with it. So I've got some ginseng, like tea, like syrup in here. So I'm hoping like that'll like counter it. And I'll at least like break even, I think.
And I'm doing the worst example of that. I have a play on a daiquiri. It's Ray and Nephew rum, pineapple, and jalapeno simple. So
That you made earlier this week.
Yeah, and I doubled up on it. This one just has a little bit of Cointreau in it to add some more citrus in. Look at me sounding like I know what cocktails are. Do you remember what I sounded like just 6 months ago? If you look at those old Driftwood videos, I'm like, put this in here. What's in there? I don't know, orange juice? Maniacs, thanks for listening to that. Thanks for listening to that intro. I am Loud and Brown, at Loud and Brown on Instagram and Twitter. You can find me at GrossDef on Steam and PlayStation. And joining me on this very, very lovely occasion, to my, I guess in the video it's to my left, the hatted one.
No, in the video it's to your right.
Okay.
Hi, all. This is the Savorings ... It's good to see you guys, hear you guys. Good to be seen and heard these crazy times. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you and your family's doing well. Hope you've been playing some games. Hope your games have been working. I hope you've been working through these times. Just all that good stuff. Like we'll get into it. Are we doing the am I kicking it down to the bunny-eared one? Or am I rambling for a minute? I'm gonna
kick it down to the bunny.
Yes.
Hello. Hi. It's me, Sage Bell. You can find me on Twitch as well at Sage Bell, and Twitter. That's where I'm most active. And then I'm also on Instagram and Facebook at SageBell_model. I've been playing Legend of Zelda, Overwatch. We played Raft this week, and I had a blast getting drunk while attacking sharks. Because when you have to start over on a game you've gotten pretty far because someone new is playing, you kind of just stick around. I'm just like, Matt and I are seasoned veterans in Raft, and I just I just started going ham and just started attacking a shark as soon as I got enough weaponry collected. Uh, I think that's. Oh, Marika finished Assassin's Creed, the main story. You're gonna
Okay.
have to mute that phone.
I know. It's going down.
So that was cool. She didn't know that like in-game stories can disappear if you go through the timeline. Like some of the
Oh.
side quests would disappear, and so she got really scared that the one that she wanted to save for later wasn't available. And we looked it up. I'm like, you're fine. The cult one is available throughout the game because it's a bunch of different cultists that you have to find in different areas that aren't part of the main story. But she still backed it up like 2 major stories back so that she could like make sure she gets all of them.
Woo!
Yeah. What'd you play? Did you say anything?
I didn't. I was gonna. Yeah, you're starting it off, so I guess I'll say what I was playing. I played Overwatch on PC and on PS4. I didn't play very much on PC. I finally tried my hardest to try to get the controller plugged up, and to my surprise, I realized, hey, I got Windows 7, and that's probably not helpful for my situation, and should probably have Windows 10. And I'm not going to really worry about it because most of my friends play on PS4 anyway. And I will stick with Tekken and Worms, and I think I'm going to jump into a different game with one of my best homies, Zach. We're going to start playing a PvE kind of survival game. I
Which
forget what it
one?
was. Oh, geez, I didn't write that one down. Calling me
Dude,
out.
I play like nothing but survival games. Okay, come on.
Yeah. I mean, he's a huge fan of Left 4 Dead and Call of Duty Zombies, so it's very much like a co-op survival shooter. So
Mhm.
that sounds like fun. And there's a little bit of a. Well, now I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna go find out which game it was to make sure I get that all right. And that's all I played. Yeah, the Street Fighter was last week. So yeah, this week some Overwatch, some Apex, some Overwatch. That is all.
Nice, very
Off
nice.
to you, saverings. ... BRB.
To be honest, I have to think about what I was playing because I kind of jumped around to a lot of different things. I played a little bit of Torchlight 3 for our little Windows 7 gang. Matt's what are people still doing on the Windows 7 in the year of our Lord 2020? I played a little bit of this and that. I played some more of Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. It's a really good game. I talked about it on the last 2 podcasts, I believe. It's basically a Studio Ghibli movie that you get to play through.
Oh yeah, you showed the playthrough a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I showed a little bit of B-roll, just me fighting stuff and doing stuff in it. So I'm playing that. I highly suggest that game if you catch it on a Steam sale or something. Well worth it if you're into JRPGs and stuff like that. I also played a little bit of Torchlight 3 for the sake of our mini review, which is coming up later in the show. And I also played a little bit of CyberPunk. And we'll get into that. We'll definitely get into that. I spoke on it at length last week. We're supposed to have some video of me playing it, but the video file for it broke Sony Vegas. It broke Sony Vegas. So that should just tell you what we're going to be talking about later on. And it gets worse than just the game being broken, you guys. So in conclusion, those are the 3 main games I played. I played a little. Yeah, that's about it. That's really what I played. I would say I played some stuff on the Switch. Oh, I did play Mario Kart 8, very rusty, against my neighbor, and I got waxed. And that doesn't really happen to me very much in Mario Kart, so that was humbling. I usually don't lose in Mario Kart, period. I don't care.
I was only good at Wii. Wii was the one my friends and I got the most into.
That one you could probably beat me at because I played that game for about 2 hours and was just like, this ain't it.
We played it pretty hard, and the Wii was our main Nintendo system for a while because of Project M.
Okay.
So we kept it around. We kept playing Mario Kart Wii, even though I believe the Nintendo Wii U came out, none of our
Yeah.
friends bought it.
I was gonna say yeah. And then the very next system was the Wii U. So you were probably stuck on the Wii for a minute.
Yeah, so we were staying on the Wii Mario Kart version for a bit, but we got really good at it. And they don't really have good online play, but they allow you to download world's record ghosts.
Mhm.
So, fighting against other people is one thing. Beating your region's track time with
It's
no variables
it's
is a complete.
impossible.
It's not impossible. My buddies that I played with, because we're from Mililani, we're like gamers. I think he had a couple top tens for the Seattle region,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
pretty
People-
awesome.
People online on Mario Kart get pretty scary with it.
They do. The world records are very hard. The ones from Japan and stuff.
Like
But
half the time you don't even see those guys. Like their ghost is just gone.
yeah, but that's when you realize that there are people that say they play the game, and then people that don't understand what the meta is. When people in shooters and fighters tell you how they
MOBAs.
play, yeah, and MOBAs, like they tell you how they play, and they're obviously not up to date. I'm like, you're maining this character? It's like, that character's been in the trash for the past 2 weeks. Like, you need to move on unless you're the best player ever, which you're not. And that's the reason.
Or they could have been in the trash for 4 to 8 hours, like Devo was.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes something gets banned like that, but they used to have a banning system. Anyway, but with Mario Kart, when you try to rub against the grain and you're like, oh, why are all the top track times with Funky Kong? I'm fastest with Toad. And you're like, dude,
No.
you have to do this stage on Funky Kong.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I don't want to do it like other people. Don't tell me how to play my game. It's like, cool, you're not going to touch the top 100. You're just not. Because certain characters with certain carts do better in the Mario Kart games. That wasn't really a thing in the earlier ones. Like with N64, there were just track game sense exploits, and everything else was kind of, hey, I like using this character because of the way they do this. But in the later ones, like, no. You need to be Daisy on the mock bike. That's the fastest high speed.
Yep. So but here's the thing: it was against my neighbor. I wasn't racing against no like high class ghost. I was just rusty. I haven't played that game in about a month. So yeah, I'll have to sharpen my tools on that game. So that's what I've been playing. Mario Kart was the last thing I got waxed.
For anyone who didn't catch what the Saverines was saying, with the diva joke was Tuesday last week. I hear an echo. There was an update for the winter games in Overwatch, and Diva became invincible, and so they had to just lock Diva for a couple hours while they fixed that because she, you couldn't kill her, which was pretty hilarious to just like go in game and like Diva's not even in the loadout screen anymore. Like she wasn't even grayed out; she was just pulled out. So.
I'm actually a little shocked how fast they fixed it. I was ready to dump on them and tease them. We were like, what did they do now? What are we going to get at the next update? And then by the time I logged in, they had a message. That was like, oh, Diva will be disabled. We are working on the problem right now. And my friends and I jumped online. She was totally selectable already. And then we thought to ourselves, maybe she's not available on comp, and then we played comp, totally selectable.
Yeah,
and I think it wasn't even an 8-hour window.
No, because I think it was something like in the code, something was set to false when it should have been true. So it probably took more time for them to pull the thing down and then re-upload it than it probably took them to fix it. So yeah, they probably knew right away like what that was. It's probably something that they were messing with and didn't put it back. So
could you imagine being in comp with an invincible Diva though?
I'm waiting for the YouTube video of people that picked nothing but her and they were all running around invincible. Like there's got to be a YouTube video for that somewhere. So yeah.
I wonder how long it took, because people could have probably fraudulently got some SR. I mean, no tournaments were running, so that's nice. The Overwatch League wasn't active. That's when things would have gotten really nasty. If you're on a professional, like we're winning matters for your money.
Yeah.
Thankfully, that didn't happen. But aside from all of us playing games, Saverings ... was able to make a video of playing games, and we're thankful for that. And I believe London has that set up for us. I think we're ready a little faster than I thought we were going to be, but I think that might be ready soon.
Yeah. I played a little something. It was one of the games I mentioned. Played a little Torchlight 3.
Welcome everyone to the Saltier mini pocket reviews, the Steam backlog reviews, whatever we're calling these. Today we're looking at Torchlight 3. This is the sequel to Torchlight 1 and 2, obviously. Torchlight 1 and 2, if you don't know, are some of the better Diablo clones out there, and for good reason. They are made by two of the original developers of Diablo 1 and 2, before they broke free from Blizzard, and they formed their own company. They made Torchlight 1 and 2, which are very charming, like I said. Very good Diablo clones. And then they have left, and they are working on the Rebel Galaxy games, if you have seen those. We're jumping right into a boss fight here. You see I just leveled up. Let's grab some loot. Give you a little look at the skill system here. But basically, this game is made by a totally different company. I think Torchlight was bought by New Worlds. And so this game is it's still Torchlight. It still has that art style and stuff, but it's not quite the same. Here's my character. You get the normal archetypes in this game: the tank, the range, the wizard, stuff like that. This guy is a mechanical knight. He's a little bit heavier on DPS than your typical tank is in these types of games, just to make his soloing easier, a little bit easier, I think. But here's some of the the gameplay that you would expect from a game of this type. Really not too much to say on this. It's well made. It looks good. It lacks the charm of the first two. I would say if you're thinking about going back and playing it, they are available on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and I'm pretty sure the Switch. At least this one is on the Switch, Torchlight 3. Between all of them, I would say jump right into Torchlight 2. Torchlight 1 is charming and great. It's probably the best one, but it's limited. It's single player, so you'd be missing some of that functionality. Here's some of my pet skills. You get pets, you can give them skills and stuff too. But I would say Torchlight 2 is just the most fully featured one. This one I haven't really messed around too much with single player. Showing you the inventory system here and the your item storage. You also get your own little fort that you can customize and stuff, as you can see here. I'm about to walk over to this little tree that you can get. You can feed it items, and as you feed it items, it levels up, and you'll get better, like luck out in the game, like more criticals and better item drops, etc., etc. You also get different pets. Pets were always a part of this game. You can send them back to town to sell items for you that help you fight. You can give them their own spells and own abilities and stuff. But here's some of the pets. In this game, they kind of took it to that next level. Dogs, cats, birds, bats, all kind of stuff, spiders. So that's Torchlight 3 in a nutshell. It's available on Steam, Switch, PlayStation Network, Xbox, all that good stuff. Thanks for joining us. Catch you guys next time. This is the Saverings at Saltier, and we're out.
Woo!
Ooh, mini review there. Good old Torchlight 3. It's kind of bland compared to the first two. The first two are probably the best two Diablo clones out there. Path of Exile, I hear you, but I think Torchlight's better.
Word. And to riff on something I was talking about, 10 minutes ago, the game I was talking about that I'm going to jump into on PC is Deep Rock
dude, I play that
Galactic.
game. I have like 80 hours on that game.
It's so cute.
Yeah, so my buddies say it's real cool. It's like you're all a bunch of like dwarves and gnomes.
Space
I sent a Space Miners. I sent a trailer over to London.
I almost did the review on that game because I have it installed right now.
We'll see. I should be jumping into it, but we're going to talk about winter and Christmas in a little bit.
You playing that on PC?
I think. Yeah, I'm going to play that on PC.
I'll jump in with you. Let me know.
Yeah, that's on. It's just regular Steam, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because I could play my controller on Steam. I don't know if there's something with Windows 7 and Battle.net that doesn't like each other, but my controller will not play Overwatch on Windows 7 through Battle.net.
It might not do it on Windows 10 as well. Do the Steam big screen thing.
Yeah, I might have to jerry rig it like that. But
yep.
The funny thing is obviously the computer like recognizes it. It shows it like, oh, here are all your inputs.
There might be some separate software. If the Steam thing doesn't work, just I forgot what it's called, but there's like a little separate piece of software, and it patches that handshake. So
I saw that patch. They have a patch for Windows 10. They don't have one for Windows 7.
No, I mean there's separate software that you
Okay.
can run. I forgot what it's called though. It's out there. It exists.
Well, cool. While we were talking about Blizzard, I believe Sageville also had something to talk about since we were talking about Diva for a little bit with the Overwatch. What else did we miss?
Oh, so the mobile game Immortals, Diablo Immortals, is in alpha testing right now. But
Oh,
only in
because we have
Australia.
phones. We've got phones.
Only the Australian phones.
Oh.
Yes.
You not have phones?
Oh, well, not in Australia. Speaking of games that are in alpha, since I can segue quickly on that, Back for Blood was in alpha last week. It closed today, so they did a 1-week alpha testing period for people to play. And I unfortunately didn't get a code, but I definitely watched a bunch of people playing it. It is, as a reminder, made by the people who made the Left 4 Dead. Not but like the original creators, not the company. So there's some quirks that you would find very similar to Left 4 Dead. Some different things that they've added to the game. There you go. Is there's these crows and there's like a nest, and if you accidentally upset the nest, that's how the horde comes in. And so you could sneak your way through the game without upsetting any crows, and then you don't get attacked by any zombies. From those particular beta tests, those are alpha testing. That's really the only like significantly different thing that's unique that I noticed. There will probably be more implemented the next round that they let people have fun with. But right now they only have like 4 levels for you to, or had 4 levels for you to play around with, but now it's gone. And their Discord was crazy.
I'm still so bad at navigating the Discord. Just
me too.
It's the freaking worst.
Yeah, you're not the only one, friend. Yes, it's not ideal. I'll put it that way.
Well, neat, super neato. Here's the question: when are we going to talk about your favorite company? Is that now? Yeah, I'd rather talk about them now and close out with something more uplifting.
Yes.
What is going on in the world with CD Projekt Red, Saverings, ... You look so happy to talk about this, and we'll talk. We're gonna compare this to other quote unquote failed launches, and we'll see what we can do.
I would say, and at first I wasn't saying that this was anywhere near on par with Fallout 76 because it's Bethesda, and everyone knew from the beginning that this was going to be that was going to be junk. Like more people knew, I would say, from the beginning that was there was more of a lot of there was way more of that going on with this because Bethesda has that reputation. A lot of their games are good down the line, not because they fix them, but because people write mods for it that fix it. Same thing happened with the original release of Dark Souls on the PC. So where to begin? So we all know of CyberPunk 2077, the little indie darling you may or may not have heard of. Got announced before the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One even came out. This is by CD Projekt Red, the makers of The Witcher. And I will remind everyone, The Witcher was in a rough state as well. Witcher 3 was in a rough state as well when it first came out. Nothing game-breaking to a point. You had to do some very specific things to get it to do it. And it's not like you fell out of the world or anything like that. But it was not smooth. It needed some lotion. It took them about a year and a half to get it where it is today. And it's still not flawless. But people tend to overlook that. Same thing with Skyrim. Broken from the beginning, still broken. If you bought that game on a Switch, it's got the same bugs that the original version did back on the 360 when it came out. But
Borderlands 3.
Yeah, Borderlands 3 as well. It's got some stuff in it. Nothing game breaking. There are some crashes and stuff in that game for sure. If you got certain types of hardware and drivers and all that kind of stuff going on, and it doesn't run optimally. There's a reason why, and I brought this up. This is the second or third time we mentioned it on here. There's a reason why NVIDIA and AMD, the first game they showed to show how powerful the new graphics cards were, was the benchmark for Borderlands 3, because you have to brute force that game to get it to do anything smoothly. But it's still playable. It's fine. It's Borderlands, so you deal with it. It's great. You like the story and the shooting and the art and all that stuff. But basically, what had happened was CD Projekt Red. A little recap: this game's been delayed 4 times. It's been in production for about 8 years, 7 years, going on 8 now. It's supposed to come out early this year, got delayed, and got delayed twice more. It's supposed to come out in November, but didn't end up coming out until December 8th, I believe. Finally released. Prior to this, shareholders were asking in meetings about the state of the game after it had been released a couple times. And since we're a publicly traded company, all this stuff is public record. The CEO came out and said, "Oh, it runs surprisingly well on the current generation stuff." Bookmark that, this little bit of it.
Surprisingly,
Run surprisingly well. Game comes out, does not, to say the least. Low textures, crashes, all kind of craziness, all the usual bugs you would expect in a buggy game, plus a whole bunch of new stuff. It's not quite as fully featured. There's actually a genre of videos on YouTube now showing the differences between Grand Theft Auto 5, a game that came out in 2012, 2013, on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, having more features. For example, you shoot the tires out of a car in GTA 5, the tire pops, and your car drives crazy. You shoot the tires in a car in CyberPunk, nothing happens.
rude.
After a minute, the car just explodes. So you're telling me there's a game from 2012? Yeah, I have no idea. Use the Twitch.
Bang bang.
Yeah, car just explodes, and there's just some other stuff going on there too. There's too many things. Just picture in your head what could be broken in a game. Like, you're used to playing a Bethesda game, like you played Anthem when it came out, Mass Effect Andromeda. Whatever you could pick in your head as just a glitch, that's probably in this game. It's got all the glitches. One came out 2 days ago. This is the newest one. If your save game goes over 8 megabytes, it'll just corrupt, and there's just nothing you can do about it. It's just gone forever. And that usually happens when you've been playing the game for a while. You're saving things, you're making choices, and it's saving that. You're crafting items to make money. You get your craft skill up. So as soon as it hits 8 megs, it just corrupts and just burn. And the developer followed that up by saying, even if we patch the save game files to be more than 8 megs, we can't save your file. You have to start all over.
And to completely interrupt, we got a heads up from our favorite white girl wasted London with a Y. She's bringing in a surprise guest.
What we got? Who we got?
Oh.
Who we got on the phone?
Oh shit!
What?
Yo, how's my mic sound? Am I good?
Your mic sounds great.
You sound crispy. What's up, man?
I heard
Twitch
you guys
streamer.
talk. Man, you guys are talking ill about CyberPunk, man. I had to step. I'm having a great time playing it, even though there's glitches and all that stuff. I'm having fun.
He talks shit about Cyberpunk.
I literally was playing it, and then I saw you guys were talking smack, so I was like, "Let me get up on here."
Well, and it's all good too, because that seems to be a thing. Like, a lot of people are just like playing it and enjoying it and powering through it. And I have 2 friends that have beaten it already. So,
yeah, our podcast friend Austin Tremmel, who's Heavy Metal Mariachi on Instagram, he just had a picture of like one of the last scenes, and he screenshot. He's like, I don't know what the big deal is with everybody. He might be like me, rocking like a 1080 8-year-old TV and everything low specs, but he said he had a good story. He thought it was engaging. He had fun.
What are you planning on, Robbie?
PS4.
PS4, the base one.
Pro.
Okay. All right. Well, the ashy ones supposedly are the Xbox, and the
ashy one.
Yeah, the ashy ones supposedly are the base PS4.
And
Russell, is that your superpower? Is that your superpower today? Is ashy?
Ashy? Nah, not today. Not today.
Oh.
Yesterday you might have called me. It's snowing outside, so ask me in like an hour if I'm.
That was Aurora Monroe. You didn't know that? Okay, so Maniacs, if you're out of the loop, you're obviously not a woke person that knows any black people. It is December 21st, and we got superpowers today, gifted to us from the libtards. Is that who we got the powers from?
I don't know.
I thought it was Saturn aligning with Jupiter.
Yes, that's the beginning of The Witcher. So if the monsters start popping up, we all know what happened.
I thought it was conservative propaganda.
I don't know.
No,
I
it
don't
was
know.
just like
It could be
Twitch
Antifa
stream.
for all we know.
Oh God!
what are you
Yeah,
doing?
we're gonna bring that up with Converge's very own Bobby Stills. We're gonna talk about Antifa.
Hey, literally, I was at the park when it was snowing, Cal Anderson Park. Antifa was in black bloc playing soccer in the snow. We had a snowball fight. It stopped snowing. The snow got wet. Came home, played CyberPunk,
Snow
and then
got
you
wet.
guys were on. So
Nice.
I covered it all today. Morning update show, Antifa, CyberPunk, Salt Tier.
You got it
Yeah.
all in.
And Maniacs, just to connect all the dots here, Bobby Stills is also producer for many different things, but for a long time had a podcast on the Soundcasting Network called Grill How Long Steak Mister. I did an episode on that, and I have also done a tiny bit of work for Converge Media a couple weeks ago.
We want to get you in there more. If nobody knows what Converge Media is, it is a Black-owned multimedia company based here in Seattle, started by a Seattle resident. Please go check it out. It's www.whereweconverge.com. We have a morning show. We have all sorts of shows.
Yeah, Bobby Stills at me
Nice.
for future stuff. But
That's good to
Cyberpunk.
know. That's good to know you're having a good time, and I know people that are, and I'm not completely bagging on the game. I'm talking about my personal experience, and really, this is all to set up what's been going on in the upper halls of that place, and that's a train wreck. So I'm sure they'll get to this. They smooth a lot of games out, and at least on the PC or on other versions, some modders will get their hands on it and fix some things. Like who even knows? But for right now, it's a flaming hot mess.
Okay, so I just posted up to London, and Bobby, you got to stay in here for this because you game plenty.
Yes.
What other games had very, very poor releases? And we're going to start with the 2010s because it's not fair to compare it to 80s games like E.T., Friday the 13th, or even, Mortal Kombat Mythologies, the 1999 Superman game. Jesus Christ, that game was bad.
But to be honest, like this didn't really start happening until you started seeing consoles shipping with hard drives, and they started treating them more as a PC. Like we'll patch things later.
Sure. So I will compare it. I'll compare it to the 2010s.
Yeah.
I'll compare it to the 2010s. So we're talking about the worst games of the 2010s according to Wikipedia. And they have good references here. Fallout 76, No Man's Sky, Alone in the Dark, Illumination. And here's one I know because one of my best friends, Pyong, is a unreasonably humongous Sonic the Hedgehog fan. Such a fan. Reads the comics.
I think I'm gonna say Sonic Mania.
No, Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric was apparently a horrible release.
That game sold like 4 copies.
So if we're gonna compare Sonic Boom Rise of the Lyric, and here's the other one I have to bring up, Star Wars Battlefront 2, where does Cyberpunk lie between those two games?
We also left out Anthem. We also left out Fallout 4. We also left out, what was that game that Amazon dropped and then pulled it back the same day? What was it called?
The free to play.
Yeah, that one that just happened.
Yeah, you know what the funny thing is? They didn't even make this list. Apparently, these are just like the, I guess, big ticket games that were just...
Which one was No Man's Sky again? I feel like I played that.
That was another game with a lot of hype.
Yeah,
so much
Which one
hype.
was that? Which one was that?
That's the one where you were in space and there was like 100 billion planets that you could travel around to, and every planet.
That game was
play on Game Pass.
Oh, that was awful.
Yeah, yeah. We're also leaving off.
It was mad hype.
Yeah. We could also throw in Madden in there. Madden 21 right now is, if it weren't for Cyberpunk, because that was trending, Madden being terrible, like that was a thing, and that still is a thing. Watch, mark my words, they're doing the Pro Bowl this year in the NFL through Madden. They're not actually getting the players together, so they're playing it through Madden. So that's gonna be front and center on ABC, that buggy, glitchy game. So watch, this is gonna be wow. I'll put it to you this way: the guy that won the Madden Bowl last year won it exploiting a glitch, and they had to give him the thing because it's in the game. So the dude did a running play glitch that was unstoppable in the game, and that's how he won. And he did it on purpose that way to show them, like, thanks, I won because of your glitchy game. Yeah.
So let me ask a question. You guys haven't talked about this yet so far from what I've heard, but they're offering people money back if they want money back for the game, right?
Correct.
Yes, that is on PlayStation Store, yes, and Xbox Live.
PlayStation Store. Okay, so my other question going to you is like, have they announced when they're gonna start updating to fix glitches and
Yes,
patching the game?
yes. The day that they offered their apology, which was like 2 days later, the day that they offered their apology, and I have it covered here, they announced that there's going to be there's been 2 hot fixes. It's on version 1.05 right now. It was on 1 point something, and then 1.04, and then 1.05 is what it's on right now. My version is still borked. For instance, I'm facing a street. I come out of an alley. I'm facing a street, and there's little kids walking around in this game. So I'm like, they usually don't put kids in these types of games because it's open world and people do heinous things. So I'm like, let me try to shoot one. So I pull out my gun and try to look down the sight, and my gun disappears. But I figure this is like their fail safe, so you can't aim down the sight at a kid. So I'm like, well, maybe it's the gun. Let me test it. So I turn around and I face the alley. Oh, my sights work. Okay, so that must be it. Okay, never mind. I go to turn around. Street's completely empty. There's no cars. There's no people. Everything just disappeared. I turned around. It was gone.
You're a wizard. You didn't know that?
So, just for example, but yes, they're giving out refunds. If you play it on Steam, it's the regular Steam thing. It's 2 hours or 2 weeks, whichever comes first. You can return it. So they came out. They offered their apology. Yes, there's going to be a big patch in January and a big patch in February. So everybody's like, you delayed it 27 times. You couldn't just wait till February. So obviously this is a cash grab for Christmas. They came out, and in that apology, they said, hey, if you want a refund, contact Sony and Microsoft. If they can't help you, contact us here. Sony and Microsoft said nothing. And the next day it was asked again, and the CEO, I keep bringing up the CEO because this guy is, I don't. This guy said, oh yeah, we didn't have anything in place with Sony and Microsoft. So, okay. So they don't have to take the game back. Sony notoriously does not take back digital downloads. Then the very next day, Sony came out and was like, yes, if you bought the game digitally on PlayStation, you can return it. On top of that, we're going to be taking this game off of the Sony PlayStation Store, period. And they took the whole game down, which is major.
It's major.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
So here's the reason why this is different from these other failed releases. From what I can see in the math, okay?
There's still more. There's still more that you can add to that.
No, there is more, but this is what I'm talking about is like it's time sensitive, right? There are people, and you know these people, that went out of their way to try to acquire next-gen systems to play this very game. And when they found out that that was not the build that they were promised, that's where the problem is. If there was no system on the... If this happened last year...
Oh, boy.
Nowhere near as much a controversy.
No,
but it's the fact...
No.
People would still dislike it, but what I'm saying is people are putting an extra $600 investment to play this game.
It would have been worse, I think, last year, because this year at least some people. I've been playing it on the PS5. I played it for about an hour and a half on the PS5. My next door neighbor has it. He has about 20 hours, 20, 25, 30 hours on the game. I played it for about 2 or 3 hours of that on the PS5. It looks and runs pretty decently on the PS5. It crashes like about every half an hour or so, or every 45 minutes or so. It still does the weird buggy glitches where you shoot something and they disappear, or you get like 90 cops on you and you run around a corner and then like that's it. They just forget about you. Cops can't get in police cars in this game. So if you're being chased and you get on a bike or in a car, you're free because they're not going to get in a bike or a car and chase you. It's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, stuff like that. But as far as how it looks and how it runs very well on the PS5. It runs like I'm like when I say slightly, I mean slightly 1 or 2 frames less on the Xbox Series X. Not as many crashes either on the Xbox Series X. So the next gen consoles kind of smooth it out because if you're playing it on that, it's not as bad. But if we were a year out from these systems and all people had was that, and this is not running well on brand new $900,000, $1,500 NVIDIA cards. If this came out last year when the best card was like the mid-tier card, like the top of the line $1,200 card a year ago was now the $600 card now. And that was the best card. So if that was trying to like run on that card, it would have been worse because you would have had nowhere to go. You wouldn't have had anything new, like new hardware to play it on. It would have been worse because it would have been more on an island. It would have been just the PlayStation and Xbox dealing with it. So yeah, I think it would have been worse.
I mean, sure, I hear your side of the opinion, but
there would have been 3 less lanes on that highway of traffic of bullshit going on. So yeah, you wouldn't have the next gen consoles. You wouldn't have the next gen graphics cards either to try to force their way through it. So,
Bobby, Sage, is this blown over, or do you think the response
No.
is apt?
I'm
I
not done.
said Bobby and Sage.
I'm not
Save
done.
ratings.
I'm not done. They have incomplete information. Let me finish.
Go ahead, Russ.
So, dude comes out and apologizes, says they got the patches incoming. Thing gets pulled. The very next day, the same CEO is on Twitter liking comments of people who dislike the fact that the game got taken down. Okay?
It's big dick energy right there.
The same CEO is liking tweets of people saying, "Hey, Sony, you're stupid for taking the game down." He's liking those tweets. Okay?
Yeah.
This is the same CEO who they're about to get sued. Some of their shareholders are seeking legal advice because this guy in that shareholders meeting I talked to earlier, remember I said bookmark this part? We told him that the game was running fine on the PS4 and the Xbox. He told the investors that, and it obviously wasn't. So they're looking to sue them. Their stock fell from $32 to $17. Of which, full disclosure, I bought some stock because it's like 50% off. Why wouldn't I buy stock?
Did you sell it already?
No, because eventually it'll float back up a little bit, and I'll make a couple pennies here and there. But it's $17 right now, so buy it right now. It's even cheaper than what I paid for it. Let's see, likes multiple
We've
tweets.
seen this before. I mean, we've seen game houses and stuff like that have a major fall from grace, and then years later come back.
Yeah.
This has happened numerous times.
Yeah, and if anyone can do this, or people have gotten used to it, Bethesda, I'll just throw them out there again. There's certain stuff that they can't recover from, but I see a lot of people playing Fallout 76 now, and they say it's much better. But the thing is, those companies had their reps. CD Projekt Red was above everybody. Everybody was loving them. They were the anti-EA, they were the anti-Activision Blizzard, they were the anti-2K, and now they're right down the gutter with them.
I mean, there's a couple different things that they can do to if they fix all their glitches, smooth out all the graphics, everything like that, put a lot of marketing behind it, add a bunch of new maps to the place, do an open format online, all that good stuff, make it kind of like GTA and stuff like that.
They need to fix their map too. The map's kind of janky.
Yeah. It shouldn't have been put out. It 100% shouldn't have put out.
They wanted that Christmas push for sure.
I don't care how long they've been working on this game, but it still seems like this game is 6 months to a year out from being released.
Yeah.
They have what do they have left in the chamber to come out and there's nothing left.
Nothing.
When the CODs come out, they have all sorts of different things lined up. 3 months from now, we're going to do this. 2 months from now, 6 months from now, we're going to do this. There's no plan in place for this game. And it's sad because I don't really buy that many new games. You know what I'm saying? I just don't do it. I play old games once they get all that stuff figured out. Once I talk to my friends to see if it's worth buying. You know what I'm saying? But I've been waiting on this game for a long time. I'm still having fun with it, but I'm really just disappointed in them.
Yeah. And like I said, and you're disappointed because they had that sterling reputation. Like, I don't know if did you play The Witcher 3, Bobby?
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah, see? And so you're just like, okay. And the first two Witchers, although they're dated, and it's kind of hard to go back and play them, for their time, they were both good games. The first one was a little simplistic, but the story and the setting and all that stuff was excellent. So they have a reputation of releasing good games. They might be a little rough. They might be a little unoptimized at first. But over the years, like it catches up. And I think this will be no different, but this was like the worst foot you could possibly put forward, honestly. Like this is like you're trying to blow up your own company at this point.
And I was very fortunate with the last AAA games I played. You could say what you want critically about the games Final Fantasy 15 and the Final Fantasy 7 remake and Last of Us 2. But it wasn't glitchy. They were complete games. They were done. The vision they wanted to put out was what they released.
It worked.
And you better believe people wanted Final Fantasy 7 remake a year and a half ago. But Square Enix, and you could see this with a lot of Japanese games. We were having this discussion with Capcom and Namco about people complaining that the game hasn't come out. And I told you, hey man, Japanese fighters come out when they want to come out. And Street Fighter V was one of the only times, because it was a partnership with America, Capcom of America. That's the only reason it even came out slightly early, is because Capcom of America was nudging them, and they're like, fine, but we're only doing it for the tournaments and the people that will make this game matter in a year.
It's America.
Yeah, but it was a smart move, and Namco did the opposite, where they were like, "No, we're gonna wait and release the full game because I heard America complains a lot if they don't get a full game."
Well, not only that, but Namco is sitting on a lot of stuff. They publish a lot of stuff, so they're not.
They did, but this was before Dragon Ball Z. This
Doesn't
wasn't when
matter.
they were. This is. I mean, they had money,
Dude,
but they didn't. They
Bandai
didn't have
Namco?
fuck you money.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do. Bandai Namco has fuck you money. Yeah, they do.
They have
Meanwhile,
their own like TV shows where they
Yeah.
market toys to children.
yeah,
All magical girl animes
Yeah.
are through.
Yeah, Bandai's got some
Bandai.
cash.
Bandai Namco has fuck you money. Capcom
they-
does not.
Yeah, they have that money, but at the same time, the choice they made was super divisive because everybody in America that wanted to be competitive at Tekken was like, "Hey, man, I can't even." Especially if you think about pros, they're like, "I can't even practice this game right now, and I got a tournament in 3 months." You know, so the way stuff releases in Japan, just culturally, a lot of them seem like they want to put out the best game when it's done.
Yes, because they take
So-
pride in their work. Yes,
And in America, it's like, we'll put it out and we'll patch it later.
money over pride. Yes, they take pride, but money is more important, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That said.
Yep.
That said, maybe this game will be cool. Maybe we'll pull a Final Fantasy 15 where they'll put out a lukewarm game. And the game right now, if you download the Royal Edition of Final Fantasy 15, it's incredible.
Yeah,
But that's kind of what people really wanted at launch. But there was
and take a look at No Man's Sky. Apparently, right now that game is much better. It's actually like 90% of what they promised, and that's a lot. So
yeah,
people are very
so it's
happy
that
with-
juggling act, right? How many people were giving them death threats to release the game already, and how many neckbeards were actually comfortable being like, release it when you're good, no worries.
a lot of them actually. It's
But that's
People-
not what shows up on those trailer comics. Like, God,
Yeah.
this game's taking 7 years.
But when
Finish
was
it
it?
already.
When was this game announced? What, 2012? What
Yes.
year was this game
Yes.
announced?
yes,
That's
2012.
crazy.
Yes, that
Yeah.
right there. You can't blame people. You can't tell people Thanos is coming, and then wait
And
8
then-
years for Endgame,
Well,
and then
as
you go and watch the movie, and it's got time code, and they didn't edit
Yeah.
the sound, and it's all
Well,
jumping around.
Saverings ... I will reference this because you've worked in the industry. And I actually was in the industry when a new system was being announced, right? I was over at Vivendi Universal when the PS3 was getting ready to launch.
Mhm.
And it does throw a wrench in the cogs with the devs when you were working on a game with the intention of one console release, and then the powers that be are like, hey, if you released this game 3 months ago, we'd be cool, but releasing it 2 months from now is gonna
what,
take
though?
a lot of the jam out of our donut. We
That's
should
very fair.
take a step back, and now we have to like restructure for this next console.
That's very fair, but at the same time, that's no longer an excuse because it used to
It's
be
all PCs now. I get it. I get it. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Exact same x86. You're going from AMD to AMD. All you're really doing is turning up the settings.
And
It's the
also,
same as buying a new graphics card in your computer. Like you just turn the settings up.
me and London and I did some diving on this. With The Witcher, they used an existing engine,
Mhm.
and apparently the release of that, it was a scant release. The game wasn't as deep as Witcher 2 and 3, but the engine worked pretty well.
Mhm.
Whereas
But
I
they were
keep
smaller
bringing
things.
up, to people because people are asking, about the podcast, and I it's so strange which friends watch this. It's so
Mm-hmm.
funny because they never chime in on chat. They're like, "Hey, I heard you guys throwing, CyberPunk under the bus." I'm like, "You listen to my podcast?
Yeah.
Chime in, jackass." Anyway, I was talking to them. I'm like, "This is a brand new engine they made for only this game." So it was like with that recipe, it's
I
almost
only-
set up for disaster. Like
I only accept that halfway because these developers have been working there for 8 years, dude. My youngest kid's 9, so it's like for almost as long as my child's been alive, and he's like walking around and talking and like fixing computers and stuff now. He's learned how to fix a computer in the time that these guys have started working on this game. You know what I'm saying?
you've seen your kid growing from a baby into a young adult.
Yeah, he's like memorizing stuff and he's like spelling words and doing math and whatnot. And he's like getting to the point where he's starting to pass me in math. You know what I mean? Because like I don't remember stuff from like 3rd or 4th grade.
And getting completion rates on Cuphead, I will always bring that up because
Exactly.
fucking
So
A.
they had all this time, and it's just for something to be announced before the piece of hardware came out and it runs the worst on that piece of hardware, like what were they even trying to design it on in the first place is what I want to know.
They could have. And then as a closing statement for this conversation with Cyberpunk, because I want to get onto winter and Christmas stuff as our outro.
Mhm.
Is this worse than Cyberpunk and Sonic Boom? I mean, not Cyberpunk. Battlefront 2 and Sonic Boom.
Yes, it's worse than those two games because Sonic. Here's the thing with the Sonic games. Every other Sonic game is good.
It's so strange. And
Sonic doesn't have that good of a reputation anyway.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Sega have several teams working on different games? Like, it's not just the Sonic team. Right?
Yeah. Well, Sonic Team has teams under it and stuff now.
It's like Sonic Game. It's like Sonic Team A, and then they have the bench, like the B Squad.
The B Team, they do. There's a Sonic Team.
And I think that's the problem. Whereas with Capcom, especially with Street Fighter, there's no Street Fighter B Team.
But that's what I mean, though. Like every other Sonic game is good. So you have Sonic Generations, and then you had this game, Sonic Boom, and then you had Sonic Mania.
What I was going to say is even if they release the game and everything works on it just fine, it's still not that fun to play.
You talking about Sonic?
Just yeah.
It depends on the Sonic, but yes, I get what you mean though.
I hear Sonic Mania was exactly what the fans wanted.
Sonic Mania was amazing, and Sonic Generations is vastly underrated. That's an excellent game too because you get to play both Sonics, the little
Sonic
fat one.
Boom was rough though. I had hands on. I think at a PAX, and
that was on the Wii, wasn't it?
I kept turning around and looking at the people working the booth, going, "Yo, you sure this isn't alpha?"
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's the thing about it. But at the end of the day, a lot of these games are made for kids. You know what I'm saying? For children, and they don't really know the difference. You know, this is maybe their first experience of Sonic. They've seen like pictures of them or something like that, so it's not any different to them.
Well, then that's a parenting fail. If you're buying your kid Sonic Boom instead of the original OG Sonic starting off, or Smash Brothers or something where
parents don't know. Parents don't know. Not all parents are video gamers. You know what I'm saying? Their kids ask for one thing, you buy it.
Cheerleaders and quarterbacks.
Well, there you go. The parents bought the wrong thing. Like there you go. Go to the store and ask. Go to the store and ask the 20-year-old dude who's standing there which Sonic game is good.
Okay.
He might not even know. It's retail. Like you can just BS your way. I'm like, well, this one's the newest one, so you should get him that.
Yeah.
You blew it.
You wanted a Nintendo? Here you go. Have a Nintendo.
I hear you.
Okay.
I hear you. Like a lot of that accidental buying does happen, but I mean, come on. I mean, everybody bought that shit game. Like, no, I don't think so.
I asked for CDs by certain artists, and I got the weirdest CDs, and not the ones
Name them. Name the artist.
Yeah. Who'd you get?
As a kid, I wanted Shakira. And I got the Spanish version of the Whenever Wherever album. I wanted a Madonna album, and I got whatever was recent and not something old, and I didn't know any of it. It was so weird.
Techno Madonna.
I thought you were gonna
like I wanted, that.
I thought you were gonna say you got the Walmart version where they blurred out sex and stuff.
Oh yeah.
No, I think I got that on like a TLC album.
Oh, you got the Walmart TLC album?
I don't know. I definitely did get a TLC CD.
My compatriots, we are getting to that magical hour, and I want our closing statement to be somewhat festive since it's snowing here in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And, drop your information, drop some follows, and the closing statement, I want you to talk about and reminisce on your favorite winter or Christmas video games moments.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay.
And I'm going to, I have a couple to talk about. I wrote it down, so it'll give you some time to think about it. But notably right now, Overwatch is currently doing their Winter Wonderland, and certain stages are snowed in. The skins you can buy with in-game currency, or you can buy loot boxes, whatever. They have, people that instead of a ice block, it'll turn into a snowman. They have people dressed up in winter scarves, and it really kind of puts you in the mood for the season. Most notably, there is a tank character named Reinhardt, and his current skin is the Polar Express train, and it's fucking awesome. He has a move where he charges, and he just kind of goes raw in the normal game, and currently it makes a choo-choo train noise. It's like, and it's little details like that where Blizzard.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, where Blizzard thinks of all these little nerdy things.
Uh,
For like the summertime, there are two characters that wear flip flops because they're in beachwear. But if you're in an area with no background music or other characters, you just jump up and down, you'll hear the rubber flap against the feet. And some sound engineer had to do that. And it's cool little details. And in the winter right now, there's always like blizzard storm things. Certain effects in the stage will just make sleigh bell noises for no reason. And it really does take you in. And another example of that was in Kingdom Hearts when you're doing the Halloween Town stage with Jack Skellington, you go into Christmas Town. And just being immersed in all of that is so endearing. And I don't think enough games, when they think of seasons, really take this to heart. And I wish they would. Street Fighter puts out winter skins, and they're kind of cool, but the
Yeah.
stages don't change really. And it's a fighting game that kind of doesn't matter, but it is kind of cool because it's cosmetic. And in this day and age where you're not hand drawing sprites, and you can just kind of come up with, tell an intern, hey, make a winter skin for like 2 characters. It's that little effort that makes it kind of nice. Because in December, playing Overwatch is kind of fun. It's not a new experience, but just like a little bit of it that's kind of fun. I am Loud and Brown on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Gross Steph on Steam and PS, whatever, PlayStation. I'm going to shoot down to the hatted one.
Yeah, I'm the hatted one. Russell's also ears, hats, all that good stuff. What am I supposed to talk
5-panel
about?
hatted one.
What am I supposed to be telling about? Winter,
Drop your
Christmas?
contacts on how they could reach you. Name drop, converge again, but also gaming and winter or Christmas. Any memories that you have, even opening games, whatever.
I'll put it like this. So the best part about Christmas is, asking for that new gaming system or a new game or something like that. And not just getting it, but not getting it and then going to your friend's house to play it. That was always, or you make sure to team up with your friends. And if 2 games came out, you get this game, I'll get this game. We can trade it or play with each other. But I also had some homies who knew where their parents put their Christmas gifts, and we would open up their Super Nintendo, skip school, play it all day, play a Mario Kart, and then put it back. And that's all she wrote. But anyway, I'm at Bobby Stills on all platforms, and my podcast is still up and running. Actually, I'm going to be putting out some new content for that coming up in probably March.
Woo! Yeah.
It's been a year-long project that I've been working on, centered around coronavirus and the shutting down of restaurants. That I've been working on this project for a year. So that's going to be at Grill How Long Steak Mister on all podcast platforms. You can also find some content that I make in the journalism field at whereweconverge.com. Yeah, check us out, man. We got hella shows, man. Morning show 5 days a week. Out there talking to elected officials. Got the fire chief on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Chief Scoggins. Woo! But I'm going to shoot it over to the one with bunny ears right there.
Hey, it's me, Sage Bell, on Twitch and Twitter. I stream Thursday nights. But
this Thursday?
This week I'm streaming on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. And we do survival games with friends. And then you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at SageBell_model. I'm less active on there, so I also am SageBell_model on TikTok. I don't know what I'm doing with that yet, but I'm on there. It's clearly marketed to me correctly because it's like I'm getting like a bisexual Twitter, so not like gay Twitter, not straight Twitter, but distinctly bisexual Twitter, which I think is hilarious.
You hit like a nice niche right in there. You're like boom. Nice.
And then also like I started to get some dogs finally showing up, but I was just following a turtle for some reason for fun. Christmas. So as a kid, my dad told me no, I was not allowed to have any video game consoles.
That's why you're a streamer now.
I was allowed to have a PC, as in I could get the hand-me-down PC, but I did know how to take apart a PC and stuff, and helped my dad clean them.
Nice.
So I could play whatever my parents were playing. So I played Diablo. I played SimCity. And Monopoly Tycoon and Roller Coaster Tycoon, and then all these like pre-Sims variants, like SimTown. There was
Did you play Sim Earth?
probably there was also a national park version.
I thought you said Simp Town, but that's a different.
Hey, you can't say that.
We didn't talk about that. So starting, I think tomorrow or next week or something on Twitch, Simp is banned.
You can't say that.
Oh,
Yeah, and a couple other words.
Because
So we didn't get
feelings.
into that this week. But yeah,
Feelings,
a bunch
Bobby
of
feels.
random words are going to be banned on Twitch.
The truth hurts.
But none of the like actual racist terms are going to be banned.
Yeah. Because feelings, Bobby Stills. Yeah.
Ridics.
They sound like a bunch of simps.
Sims are not banned on Salt Tier.
No.
Hashtag live dangerously.
We will say it on here.
Hashtag shake the salt.
I mean, I think the Dark Prince of Delridge is the original simp. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
you know what? That dude
He's
gets
pretty alive.
his. He gets
I didn't say that.
his. So he's fine. You can call him a silt all you
Boys
want.
United. Sad Boys United.
He's a
He
sad boy,
has
but
sacrificed himself to receive any items my simps want to send me, so I send them to him
As a safety precaution.
as a safety.
What an ally.
Paige, you got an OnlyFans yet?
Technically, I do. That's not where the simp came from, though.
No, I know.
It couldn't be.
Find me on Patreon. It's the last month that you'll be able to pay $50 because I'm taking off that tier.
Whoa.
Oh, so get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
$35 tier will still be there, or whatever the price is for that one. I don't care.
Nice. Casually.
Cash. All right.
Mhm.
And then
Let me
save
try
rings. Oh, are we finished? I'm sorry.
Nope.
Yeah, whatever. Go up.
Going up to the saltiest one. Old man shouts at the sky. Save
Hey.
rings. ... Don't
get mad because I give it to you raw like that. You know, I'd say.
Nah,
it comes
you
out.
go from your hip and you got your
Comes out.
opinions. That's why we're all here.
Okay, well, I have three and a half favorite Christmas gaming moments, and I'll keep it brief. The half one is a game called Costume Quest. It's made by Double Fine. It's the guys that make Psychonauts and
Yeah.
Full Throttle, and those
Yeah,
guys.
fucking Double Fine's great.
They are great. Gang Beast, that's them too. They had a game called Costume Quest where you basically played as this group of kids on Halloween, and like you put different costumes on and it give you different powers. I got all the achievements on that game, and the very last game it was called Tisn't the Season. And
Wait. To interject, there had to have been a little bit of influence from Kid Chameleon, right?
What's that?
Kid Chameleon, was that Genesis or SNES, Bobby?
I know of that game, but like
you put on a helmet and then you get the powers of that helmet.
Sega Genesis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's been in other stuff before too.
Okay,
That was
continue.
yeah. So there was an achievement. It was the very last one I didn't have. It was called Tisn't the Season, and you get an achievement for playing the game on Christmas. So I intentionally set a calendar reminder in that game, and on Christmas Day, with all the kids and unwrapping stuff and eating and blah blah blah, I made a point, and I pre-installed the game. I think I had it on there still. It's a small game. Or I think I installed it that day. I installed that game and launched it just to get that achievement. So that's a Christmas memory in gaming. The next one is I had a Super Nintendo Mario Kart marathon session with my best friend. We're still rivals in Mario Kart to this day. I still beat him consistently. We played 100 games, and we played 100 games of Mario Kart, and I beat him. And the final score is 51-50. Like that's how close he and I are.
Who'd you race with? Who was your predominant winner?
When I was racing with my friend on the N64 when we did the 100 games, I was Wario.
Second highest top speed.
And
right?
and everybody else who's smaller than you can just bang them all over the track and just knock them into place.
Well, not everybody. Koopa and DK you can't knock over.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, but like everybody else besides the other two fatties, you could bully.
The other fatties.
But when that came out for the Super Nintendo that Christmas, he had Christmas at his house. His parents dropped him off, and he was at this was before. This was like 2 days before Christmas. He came to my house. We played that game we all that day, all Christmas Eve. He only left to go home. He opened his presents at his house, came back to my house, and played that. Spent the night again, and then the very next night, him and his dad are very close to this day. They do everything together. Him and his dad were supposed to go to a Lou Rawls concert. And you guys all know who Lou Rawls is, right? Like famous jazz and soul singer, right?
A telethon.
Yes, freaking Lou Rawls. Yes, they went to go see him in our little rinky-dink town. He was performing there the day after Christmas, and his dad got tickets, and they were both big fans. His dad came to pick him up, and we forgot. His dad came to pick him up, and he stayed at my house to play Mario Kart instead of going to the concert with his dad. And to this day, his dad is still hurt about that. And like we don't bring it up or anything, but it's still a tender topic. So
Lou
that's
Rawls, man.
Yeah, it's Lou Rawls. And I remember, and Lou Rawls died like a couple, like 10 years later or something. And when it happened, him and I instantly text each other like, dude, like I could have seen that guy in concert, but I stayed to play Mario Kart at your house on Christmas. So that's my other Christmas one. My second one is getting my Nintendo. When I got my first NES, I got that on Christmas. And do I need to say more? I got my fucking Nintendo on Christmas. That's it.
So that's a win.
Yep.
I also got mine on Christmas too.
Yep.
And I beat the shit out of Dr. Mario.
I played the crap out of the game. I got Spy vs. Spy, Cobra Command, and Contra.
Now,
and Mario Kart and stuff.
Saverings, I've been doing this podcast with you. Sorry, Saverings ... You got to say all of it like Tropical Quest.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this podcast for you for a while, and there are some fans that love you and love your adversity. But I even have a hard time figuring out what platform you used most to do this. I feel like V-Gaming has been more active, but is there a reason you don't streamline all of this to all Saverings?
Saverings is just my name, and then I have many different vehicles. So I got that at V-Gaming. I got Things Betwixt, which is my Twitter, and
Sure. But is there a direction? So Bobby Stills and Sagebell know this about me. I have Salt Tier and my normal account where a lot of it is gaming and just day to day. My bartending is on Party Hard Seattle Driftwood Jones. And my design work is the most professional Instagram account you will ever see from me. I only follow design studios and illustrators and artists, and I only post my work. And it's linked to my professional website and my email. And so that one has a very special place. I don't talk about gaming on that. With Driftwood Jones, I don't talk about gaming, but my regular account is Salt Tier, and obviously Gross Stuff.
Yeah.
That's where everybody finds me. But with you, like, is there a reason that you have different accounts?
Yes, there is. I'm glad you asked that. So
wanted by the FBI.
So yeah, maybe, for all I know. So Midlife Comics is like my nerd tech. It's like my nerd pop culture YouTube channel. So I have a Twitter for that. And when I want to comment on video game or comic books, Star Wars, stuff like that, I tweet and stuff and link stuff through that. V-Gaming is like all my video game stuff. So I do all that stuff through there. My YouTube, when I do stuff, when I stalk stuff and comment and follow people, video games, I use that.
That's the one that has that like couple thousand hits video, right? V-Gaming?
Yes.
Okay, so V-Gaming is the gaming content to contact you.
Which is why I have it here. Yep. And then my number one would be the year that I lost Christmas. Because I wasn't fucking with the dishwasher anymore. And I talked to my dad for about 2.5 hours the other day, and he was talking about how I'm drinking out of this cup, and I've dirtied about 6 cups today. Well, let me rewind you back to the Christmas of 1989 when I got put in charge of the dishwasher. I was 11 years old. Won't forget this. No, I was maybe a little bit older, maybe about 12 or 13, 11, 12, something like that. So I get put in charge of doing dishes. My family, there's 4 of us. They would dirty up every single dish every single day. And I used to get so upset because there's 4 people. So why is there 30 dishes in there? You guys are just doing this because you know you don't have to do it. So it was this whole thing all year with my mom and I going back and forth. And towards the fall, she was like, yo, listen, you stop doing these dishes, I'm going to cancel your Christmas. And I was like, bullshit. I didn't say that to her, but that's what I was thinking. And it just kept going, and they just kept dirtying dishes. So after a while, I just stopped doing it. I'm like, you guys are ridiculous. I use 1 plate, 1 cup, one fork all day. Why are you guys using 9 plates, 9 cups, 9 forks? Why am I doing all this work? Because you guys are like, oh, I'd have to do it. So finally one day it got to, I think in December it happened. My mom was like, that's it. You lost your Christmas. And And it sucked. I knew she was serious, but I felt I proved my point. You guys waste dishes. And my dad, to this day, yesterday told me that, hey, we waste dishes. And I'm like, that's why I lost my Christmas, to prove a point. But that 1989, also the year the Game Boy came out, parents bought me a Game Boy. We had a very close-knit circle of family and friends. I opened up my present. Well, I didn't open up presents. I didn't get no presents. I went down, tree was empty. I didn't have nothing.
But did other people get presents?
Yes. And here's what I said. Went to my friend's house. A bunch of my other friends and their parents went there. They all brought their stuff. They knew I was getting a Game Boy because I told them, because my mom had told me that she was going to give me a Game Boy. And they were like, hey, where's your Game Boy? What'd you get? And I'm like, I got nothing because I didn't do no dishes. So that's my number one gaming Christmas thing. I didn't get my Game Boy till February, but I felt it was worth it. So that's my number one.
Totally
Christmas.
worth it. Thank you, Saverings, or shall I say at V-Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Maniacs! That was the penultimate episode of Soundcasting Network's very own video game podcast, which is Salt Tier, where your argument is
invalid.
Thank you very much. We are brought to you by the lovely, lovely Voodoo Ranger IPA. Hashtag live dangerously. I crushed my can. It was great. And remember, B Corp certified and employed. Oh, you got the tall. You got the bomber triple.
Man, what's that? Did y'all save me some of that?
Yeah,
I have some at my house. That
there's a bunch of it
Skylar.
if you
Come
want.
down the street, Derek. Let me show you what I got.
Yeah. Okay, I'll continue the outro. Remember, Maniacs, jump on Drizzly. Ooh, no, that's for me. Remember, Maniacs, on Drizzly for last minute shopping. There's no other place like home for the holidays, especially when the beer comes to you. $5 off. $5 off your first Drizzly order with code New Belgium, all one word, no spaces.
Nice.
Thank you, London. Is that London in the background? No, that's Empire State Building. I'm an idiot. And stocks.
Look at that cyberpunk stock right there. Oh boy. Get that Mac stuff out of here. There we go.
Oh, great.
Thank you, London. Hey, if it surprises you that London uses a laptop, you have no idea.
Hey, I'm on a laptop, man, and it's a very expensive laptop.
No, it's a MacBook. What I'm saying.
Let me tell you something.
London. Heard. That said, thank you. Remember to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We are salt_tier_pod. Everything else is just Salt Tier Podcast. Like and subscribe. Please tell your friends. Please follow the Steam group. We're trying to give away games. Saverings, can you talk about that for a second?
I have so many damn games. Hold on. I have my Humble Bundle open right now. You guys, I have so many games to give away right now. There's some of these that I don't have on my Steam account, and I was going to activate them on there. But there's at least, you guys, I have right now. I'm not even exaggerating. Hold on a second, you guys. I can tell you exactly how many I have.
Tell us all on your Twitter with V-Gaming so everybody can see it in person. But we got an outro because it is getting late. We want to thank the one and only Bobby Stills for joining us on this penultimate episode. We got to give a big what's up to the producer that, what, Bobby? What does he do?
Drops them deucers.
Drops a double deucer. He is the Prince of Parmesan, the Regent of Rigatomi, and the Emperor Alote. We got to keep the boogie.
The sire of spaghetti.
The Sire Spaghetti.
He's also the filthy casual that plays Fortnite, but we will get on him for that.
And also, cheap plug, I'm wearing a Shark Knife shirt from Coastalvania. Check that out if you want some gaming pins or t-shirts. This has been a production of Soundcasting Network episode 103.
Mm-hmm.
I am blessed to be in the presence of those bunny ears. That costume is so good, Sage Bell.
It is.
Look how good that is.
Sage, like, you seriously make us look bad every week.
You do.
Yeah. It's the last stream before Christmas. I had to put on my Christmas dress.
You really spruced it up. 10 out of 10.
Matzah and happy Hanukkah, everybody. Thank you kindly.
Yes.
We are out.
6 games. I have 6 pages of games to give you.
Smoke trees!
6 pages.